Future Shock with your host, Benjamin Dixon. And guess what? You are now plugged into the Power Surge. Now tuned into the Future Shock, Future Shock, Future Shock. Hot takes we debate, it's the Future Shock, Future Shock, Future Shock. IWC, it's the Future Shock, Future Shock, Future Shock. Get your news here first, it's the Future Shock, Future Shock, Future Shock.
This is referee Dan Fitzgerald, and you are now watching the Future Shock Wrestling Podcast. Get plugged into the Power Surge.
This is Nasty Leroy, aka That Man, aka That Nasty Man, and you are tuned in to the Future Shock Podcast, and you're plugged in to the Power Surge. Now, listen to this podcast and don't be a rat bastard.
This is your boy, the Cardinal Nick Thompson, the current IWA Explosive Division Champion, and you are now watching the Future Shock Wrestling Podcast, and you are now plugged in to the Power Surge. Tweet!
What's going on, everybody? It's your friend of neighborhood wrestling content creator and digital media champion, BJ Dixon. Now, I'm here to talk to you guys about our sponsor, Pop Mania. Pop Mania is a website created by our good friend and brother, Cam Lewis, who created this game, and he has a ton of different options for your game playing pleasure. He has Pick'em, where you can do predictions. He also has Higher or Lower, which suggests that whichever wrestler that you pick, whether they're higher or lower, will depend on the one that you're picking. And then, like, you will have if your streak continues, you will be on the leaderboard. You also have trivia games from Pop Mania as well. You also have a versus draft. You have a pick your goat. You have what's called Ring the Bell. Ring the Bell is the game where you essentially play with your friends and you pick different wrestlers and you see which ones are better when it comes to your picks. And then whoever has the better picks wins. You also have another game that is called Build Your GOAT. Who do you think has the intangibles to be the greatest of all time? We'll find out in Build Your GOAT. You also have your shows and you have your leaderboard. If you guys are on the leaderboard, that means you've scored the highest. So I want to thank Pop Mania for sponsoring this podcast. And you guys can use my code, PowerSurge77, for all your game playing pleasures. Play on, everybody. What is going on, everybody, and welcome to the Future Shock Wrestling Podcast. I am your host, your friend and neighborhood wrestling TikTok creator, your pro wrestling content creator, Benjamin J. Dixon. And today, I have the esteemed pleasure of welcoming my good brother, Mr. Jax Knight of the America's Academy of Pro Wrestling. He is a great power-based wrestler, a great guy I've known for quite a while now, and he's one of the hottest young prospects in wrestling today. Can't wait to hear about his life and about his story, man. So, without further ado, I want to welcome the Jungle Monster, Mr. Jax Knight, to the Future Wrestling Podcast, and you have now walked into the indie spotlight. Welcome to the show, brother. Thank you for coming in.
Yo, appreciate you for having me.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So for those who do not know you, man, who is the Jungle Monster Jax Knight?
So this was originally a character that I created about basically it kind of like sums up of how as simple of how I grew up. it was like basically I always seen my figure as like this big intimidating force. But like when
Mhm.
people really get to know me, they would know like my real self. I'm really nothing like that. But like as far as the look, I felt like I always just had it, especially because like I've been so tall. So I feel like once I got the dreads, it was just like it was something for me to like tap into for like especially wrestling wise because I'm like how can I turn my physical how can I turn my physical form into like a character? So like it kind of really just like went one into the other so it was easy for me to come up with.
That's dope, man. So, where the nickname, the Jungle Monster, come from?
That actually came for I was tossing and turning like trying to figure out what I wanted my wrestling character to be. And
Mhm.
like so I was gonna do like this thing of like how technically I'm like the animal version of a predator because I always had the locks and everything. So like people would like that was the first thing people would see me as. So I'm thinking of like tapping in with that, but I'm like and also a big strong man from like the sacredness of the jungle. So I'm like, jungle, there's like a whole lot of wild forest animals in there, like lions, etc. So like I feel like that was a type of character to resonate with me, especially with how deep my voice is. So like when I yell, it's like a calling card.
Oh, okay, okay, okay. That's great, man. So, the America's Academy of Pro Wrestling. How did they find you, or how did you find them?
So me and one of my longtime friends from middle school, we this was like a year after we graduated high school. We decided like how what would we feel about joining a wrestling school in our hometown.
Mhm.
So when I first thought about it, I remember I was at work one day when my homeboy called me about it and was like, "Yo, how would you like to join the wrestling school?" At first, I thought it was like he was. I was dreaming about this because I'm like, did my homeboy really just ask me to join a wrestling school? Like, I did not know the process of becoming a wrestler was this easy. So, like,
Mhm.
when he told me that, I'm like, I instantly said yes with like without a question because I'm like, wrestling has always been a thing of mine. Growing up in a household was always fighting with my brother, so I'm like,
Mhm.
it wasn't really no second guessing. I just jumped on the chance right when it was there.
Okay, okay. And what was your first experience when you took your first bump? And because I mean, we've all seen different training montages of different wrestlers from when they were first getting started and stuff like that. But for those who don't know much about independent wrestling, what was that for you to have that feeling of, okay, now I gotta learn how to take a bump, I gotta learn how to fall on my back, I gotta learn how to do certain things without hurting myself and things of that nature. Like, what was it like to learn that skill?
I will say it was like very strange at first. I still remember my first day training. It was like taking my first bump. It's like they everything you've ever grown up to know about your whole life. It's like when it comes to wrestling, it's like the whole opposite. I remember
Mm,
like as far as even as far as taking a bump go, they'll be like you simply just have to like let yourself fall without catching yourself. So I'm like normally you tell that to a normal person, they're gonna look at you like you're crazy and not know what you're talking about. Which I was that same type of person. But like as for a while, it is gonna start to click in your head to like know how to bump and everything. So it's easy for me since I've been doing this for like going on like 4 years now. But like, yeah, at first it was a wild time. Like just learning everything is completely opposite of what you grow up knowing.
wow. So I saw some of your I saw your first matches. I saw a lot of your matches. I saw your first match. I saw some other matches on your YouTube channel, man. And I gotta ask you, what was you made your debut in a chair match
Yep.
against Marcelo de Campa.
The Campos, yeah.
Um and so what was that actually like, man? Because know that apparently there was like some tension between you and the guy who owns the company, I'm guessing, and you got and him and Marcelo are part of the him and Marcelo are part of the same stable, I'm guessing.
Yeah, so like the story going into this match was like I was basically going like as the big bad monster bully, taking going rogue and just taking over, going against the owner, going against the owner of the school. So basically, to the point where we were trying to make his nephew, the person I was facing, a good guy. So he's basically avenging his uncle and trying to take me down. Kind of like a little David and Goliath type situation.
Okay, okay, okay. So for you had that your first match be a chairs match, and obviously you lost. But what was that? What was that match like? 'Cause when I watched it, I said, "Oh, Jax has a lot of intangible stuff that people don't. You have a lot of stuff that people can't teach." And what I liked about your character the most was like, and every time I would watch you, I don't know if you're familiar with Monty Brown or Marcus Corvine. But you remind me a lot of Marcus Corvine with the way you wrestle. Like the way that he would smoothly do his moves or whatever, like those different things really showed your your unique ability to connect with like unique ability to connect with not only like a crowd but with seemingly with the other talent as well.
Yeah, like for me, as far as like the match goes, like it was still crazy. Sometimes still to this day, I still haven't even like really reflected on how I was feeling about it. I just know, like, remember once I went through that curtain, once I went through the curtain for my entrance, it was like I was really in here about to do what I've been watching since I was a kid, and it's like it still feels unreal. It still feels unreal to this day because like that's one thing that I was like going into it, like my adrenaline levels was running through the roof. Like I was still able to keep my composure, still keep my character out, but like inside, like bro, the adrenaline was just rushing through my body. It was like I'm really out here, really doing this. It was like really a dream come true.
Wa- Was that time just like was it? I know it was nerve wracking, obviously, but after that match, like what was the conversation like in the locker room? Was there a huge reception for you in the locker room post match?
Oh yeah, it was good. A lot of people in the back like gave me recognition, saying like some people would go out here and like completely get like choked up in the moment, but like everybody was congratulating me, saying that I held my own. Thank God during the match, I didn't really feel any pain like that because like once again, adrenaline is gonna be our best friend. So like the thing on how the match went, I did like it, and it's like you don't always get to say he was thrown into the deep end. And with me, my first match being a stipulation match, I feel like that's kind of a good way to go in.
Mm, that's great, brother. So, mm, what would you say to somebody, man? I know there's a lot of people who want to try professional wrestling, want to try to be a wrestler. What would you honestly say to that person? Because I know that as a wrestler and as a fan of press wrestling as you are, what would you encourage that young person to do? 'Cause I know that you're just really starting out, but what would you say to somebody who wants to try professional wrestling for the very first time, but haven't yet?
I would say simply like if you really feel in your heart that you really want to do it, I would say go ahead and give it a shot. It's like it is not an easy job though. Like if you're like well fit and your cardio is in shape, then you should be able to get into it easy. Like for me personally, I would just find the nearest wrestling school near you and just sign up for it. That's the thing with this is like it's g- this type of thing, it's gonna come easy to you, especially if you like played sports in like high school or anything like that. So like you already have a gist of like what you're gonna be getting yourself into. I remember my first day starting, they told me like this was gonna be one of the most hardest things I've ever done in my life. And they're technically not lying because the cardio and the stamina is like a huge part because you never know how long you're gonna be in the ring for.
Wow. So how would how would you approach let's see. How would you approach a match where like is outside of the AAPW realm? Like for instance, like if you went to somewhere like um there's this promotion out in Texas that I watched. I thought about there are so many other wrestlers, so many other companies out there. Like, so how would you approach something like a reality of wrestling or something like where um is the outside of your typical wrestling school? How would you approach that opportunity to be able to do something like a reality of wrestling? Like, how would you approach that type of opportunity? Booker T came up to you and said, "Hey, kid, this is the match I want you to do. You got 9 minutes. You and him have 9 minutes. Go out there and just take care of that."
I would say definitely like just be appreciative because like if that opportunity does land in my hands, I can confidently say that I've been doing well enough work for like people like Booker T or Rikishi or anybody else who owns a wrestling school to like notice me and like whatever they ask for, I would try to do my best to make sure I get it all in that time frame. Cause like that's one of the things with matches. Like when they tell you what you're gonna do and they give you a time limit, it's like crucially important to follow that. You don't want to like you don't want to like go over too you don't want to like go too short or go too over. It's like cause like the time limits in these matches matter because like we have to get to one match to the next to the next to the next. So I feel if that opportunity was still in my hands, I would know I've done a lot of work to get noticed by this, and I'm not going to take it for granted and just keep doing what I always doing, which is keep it pushing.
That's great. See, so for your first match, you did not win. So what did that match teach you in terms of you know in terms of like losing that match? Like, what did that teach you? Like, I know you were part of a tournament later on, and like for the winner, and that like you were part of so many different matches. You were part of a 4-way. So like, how did those matches? How did that debut match? How did that debut match set you up for what the other matches did for you as well?
I feel like with my first match being a chairs match, I'm like, okay, like we know now. Not only can you hang regular, you can also hang with like when like the stakes are on the line. So like that goes to what I said earlier, like being in a first match that consists with weapons. I feel like that's like a big step up from what mostly people do. So I'm like,
Mhm.
if I can handle being checked by chairs every 5 minutes, then I feel like as I go by, if I'm ever having a normal match with no stipulation, I feel like I should be able to succeed. Given that when I first got in here, I was already swimming in deep waters.
Oh, okay, okay, that's dope. So you had a triple threat match with Nakai and Apollo Gold. Now, what I will say is this, man, that double powerbomb spot on the top rope, that was amazing. Amazing. When I saw set up for the spot, I said, "Oh, what are they gonna do here?" I'm like, I saw you, and I was like, "Man, Jackson's so tall," and then I'm like, "How is this dude going when they even survive it and being able to do that?" And like the way he did it, I was like, he executed that power bomb perfectly. So like, what was the conversation like during that match? Because I know you guys had to talk before the match about just how to execute that one spot. I know that was incredible, brother.
That's like the one weird thing about it, because like all triple threat matches, you're gonna get tired of those spots. It's almost like, like, I sure yes, you probably mentioned it. Technically, I was supposed to be on the bottom. I don't know why I ended up getting on the ropes. I feel like even because like Apollo was being suplexed by a guy my height, so like it makes the suplex kind of even more a little crazier as a visual, while as I'm being powered down. But like overall, like the spot was cool. I remember the second we all took our bumps, all the crowd was just like, oh, holy this, holy that. I'm like, yeah, it definitely got a good pop. It was just like very unexpectedly on how we set it up. It's crazy.
We also had another match between um you got another match with let's see. Let's see. The other match you had was a match during the Winter Wrestling Tournament. And I can't remember the guy's name just to I think it was Lincoln Fury, I believe. And what was that like to be a part of a a tournament for a chance to become a champion and then ended up obviously losing. But what was that like to be thought of in that way of for your wrestling school to say, okay, we think you have the potential to be a champion and be a contender for a championship. So what was that feeling like?
So the match was basically decided for like it was like a 16 minute it was like 16 minute tournament to decide the winner for the inaugural Rising Championship that we're doing. I was going against Lincoln Fury, one of the students at my school. For that, it was like I really enjoyed that match because I feel like it's exactly the type of matches that I really see myself like doing, like me being a big powerhouse, powering around, and you have like the quick agile opponent basically evading all my tactics and me with strikes trying to knock me down. I've always liked those type of matches in wrestling because I'm like, it really is a fight. Like you have to see how the little guy can try to do his best to outmaneuver him. But I'm like, it's like the perfect type of power versus speed battle like you enjoy. So I feel like that's the reason I enjoyed that match so much. I'm like, I can learn a lot from it. Like you can know exactly how like to take a big guy down, just strike. And sometimes you might get a little overwhelmed with the power. It's like I might throw you around somewhere. It's like that. Like overall, I feel like those matches can really like make people.
Um, give me 1 second, guys. Sometimes here on the indie spotlight, sometimes some things happen, but we will continue on. Give us 1 second, guys. Give me 1 second. Hey, Jax, come in and come back real quick. Your audio's messing up just a little bit, man. Just a little bit. Yeah. So no, just a little bit. Yeah. Yeah. Your audio is messing up just a little bit, man. I'm gonna bring you back in. Just give me 1 second, okay? And y'all give us 1 second, guys. We're having some momentary difficulties, but or sometimes here on the Future Shock podcast, sometimes when things like this do happen. But this is what the indie spotlight is all about, highlighting these wrestlers. So give me 5 seconds, guys. Be right back after this short intermission. What's going on, everybody? It's your friend, neighborhood wrestling content creator and digital media champion, BJ Dixon. And today's guest is none other than my good brother, Jax Knight from the America's Academy of Pro Wrestling. Now, Jax is a great power-based wrestler. He's only been in the wrestling industry for a short amount of time, and I'm very, very surprised by his success. We're going to be talking about his journey into becoming a pro wrestler, his wrestling fandom, and more than anything else, we're gonna just talk about his goals for his career going forward and what he hopes to accomplish in his career. So thank you guys for watching and welcome to the Indie Spotlight. What is going on, wrestling fans? It's your friendly neighborhood wrestling content creator, Benjamin J. Dixon. And listen, we have a campaign going on the channel today that if we get to 100 subscribers, we will have a live unboxing of a special item on the stream, live on the Future Shock Wrestling stream. Listen, so that means tell all of your friends, tell all your family members to subscribe to the channel, man. Our community here is growing. I want to see it continue to grow. Peace. What's going on, everybody? It's your friend neighborhood wrestling content creator and digital media champion, BJ Dixon. And today's guest is none other than my good brother, Jax Knight from the Americas Academy. All right. Sorry about that, guys. Are back. So, Jax, I think we were talking about your match with Lincoln Fury last time we had spoken, and you were telling me how you felt about the match. How that feel for you to become a contender in such a short time? Of you being a part of that, a part of the promotion that you were a part of with America's Pro Wrestling. Can you hear me? Oh, no. My screen's okay. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. All right. All right, can everybody hear me okay? Okay. Right. Let me see. Because now, Jax, I can't hear. Hold on. Okay. Hey, Jax, can you hear me, man? Okay. Oh, his audio still messing up. Hey, Jax, come in and come back out, man. Your audio is still kind of messing up just a little bit, okay, man? Just a little bit. So sorry about that, guys. We're having some momentary difficulties, but you guys don't forget to continue liking the live, subscribing. We are almost at 100 subscribers. We're at 94 right now. So if you guys can come in and continue to subscribe to the channels, can you support the content, man? I'll be much, much appreciated. Thank you for all the support, guys. All right. And also, guys, don't forget about our sponsor, Pop Mania. Um, use my code Power Surge to play the game for the creator code. And don't forget to make sure that we support our good brother Cam and his effort to do this. We really appreciate him, and shout out to the No Pop Podcast as a sponsor to this podcast. And we will now go back to our scheduled interview. All right. Okay. And okay. Yeah, you can unmute yourself now. Right.
Okay, yo.
Oh, oh man. Okay. Okay, he's good. Okay. All right. So Jax, we were talking about your match with Lincoln Fury, and you were part of the Winter Wrestling Tournament. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay. So in that match, you were able to prove that you were okay. You were able to prove that you were a contender for a championship. So what was that like? What was that like, man, to be able to prove um that you were like a potential contender for a championship? How that really feel for you, man?
It really felt like like the kind of like the beginning step of like a star making moment. Because like for me, this already means a lot to me because like I'm already able to do this in my hometown. So I'm like I can really be the hometown hero anytime someone comes to a show and they can like see their potential next favorite superstar. I feel like I've tried my best to like be that person because like at the end of the day, like these fans, the crowd, they're really the reason we do all this, and like we want our goal at the end of the day is to always leave them with feeling some type of reaction for us, whether they really like us or they really hate us. It's just like get them to connect with us so like they can have that moment to feel like they're really in touch with their favorite wrestler. So like for me to go out there and like be competing for a title, it's like a dream of mine that I've always had. And like that's the thing I like about this because like as you're chasing your dreams, the dreams you accomplish, they're just going to keep multiplying and you're just going to be doing one thing onto the next. And like, so as far as like competing for a title, I feel like it's like really a big step towards where I want to go in life.
Right. Okay. So with the match you had, I think it was a four-way match. I can't remember all the gentlemen's names, but you had a really, really good four-way match. And once again, man, you were not involved in the finish of that match. And I was very I was mad for you, man. 'Cause as a friend of you, as somebody who considers like to for you, you to be a friend of mine, I was like, dang, man, they doing Jax wrong in these matches because like I kind of felt like I ain't gonna hold you, bro. I felt like you were really, 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 really having some great spots in these matches, and you just kept on just getting robbed out of these opportunities. So like, does it put a chip on your shoulder, man, to have those opportunities and then like be able to say, "Dang, I didn't get it this time, but maybe I'll get it next time." Like, so, like, how's it feel to continue to get these opportunities like that? And then, um, does it put like a bigger chip on your shoulder to say, "Okay, now I gotta prove myself to be better the next time"?
I feel as if for myself, like every chance I get in that ring, I have to like prove myself way more than I did the last time I was in. And like so for me to get all these chances, like it's just moments for me to continue to show why I should be like a top star and why I should hold the championship. Because I really, as far as having all of many chances go, I'm early in my own early 20s, so like my leeway is like long, so I know I'm gonna have a bunch of time left to actually shine. But as the odds go, your boy is always gonna like a challenge. So anytime, however long it takes me to get to my journey, that's gonna be what it is. I either gonna step, and just always looking forward, never look back, and just keep my mind on the prize.
So, as a young wrestler, bro, um, I'll say this, bro. Like, I want to see you succeed, bro. And what would it look like for you, man? What would it look like? Um, what would it look like for you to like wrestle somebody like a Nick Wayne or an Action Andretti or somebody like a Dante Martin? Um, and what would it mean for you to be able to get those types of opportunities?
I mean, like I said, really, it's just gonna be multiplying the dream, ten towards step. Like we accomplished the first dream. We accomplished the first dream by getting here and actually doing the work to getting the first match. Now, as far as like when the dream matches go, as far as the dream matches go, you see yourself being in the ring against the people you idolized. Like basically how every other story is, everybody in the WWE or any other wrestling promotion where they get to actually be in the ring with someone they ended up growing up watching. Like that feeling I know is a top notch feeling, and I want to be able to experience what that's like because like I do have a couple of people that I grew up watching that I want to get in the ring with, and I feel like if I do ever get that moment, I'm going to truly make the best of it because like you're never going to get an opportunity like that in life, especially like if you have the heart, especially so if you have done the hard work, build up your career, build up your stats, build up your character, like that's going to be a real payoff to everything that you've done.
Cool, man. So, um, how big of an impact, like in terms of the wrestlers that you liked growing up, who really influenced your style the most? Because, um, obviously, um, as many young guys, I know probably Swerve Strickland probably influenced a lot of your style a little bit. But who else has shaped most of your in ring style?
At first, my injury stuff, some like so like when I first started wrestling, they're always going to teach you like watch the guy. When you're studying wrestling and doing tape study, they're going to always tell you like watch the people that's closer to your size. Any type of moves that you feel like any type of moveset that you would feel like you would want to have. Watch the guys with the moveset that you have pictured in your brain, so I'm like, for me, like being 6'5", like I'm trying to like venture more into like the big guy status. So I'm watching people like Great Khali, Undertaker, Kane, Drew McIntyre, like all like the big heavy hitters. But like also, I'm also trying to learn how like to expand and go out like the powerhouse guys in case I'm ever going against an opponent bigger than me. So like I would feel it's like different like tweak your style just a little bit depending on the size of the person you're facing. So like if you're going up against someone bigger than you and you're already a big person, you probably can knock out some agile moves, maybe like a drop kick or like some sort of springboard or something like that. Only when I feel it's really needed. But like if you're like a big guy, go and get against a smaller guy, you really just need to lay on the big guy power man effect. So I feel like wrestlers like Big Show, Kane, Undertaker, all them, those are going to be good for you if you want to like establish a big guy character.
So what? So let's say, Jax, if MLW, AEW, or even obviously WWE, were to call and they said, WWE called and they said, I want you to be part of the ID program, or MLW said, hey, I want you to come in for a squash match against LeBron Cozone, or somebody of that stature. Um, how would you take the opportunity and what would you do with it?
I would honestly be very grateful that I'm even being looked at by those higher ups, and as far as the opportunity goes, do my very best to exceed it because like at the end of the day, that's basically every indie wrestler's dream. Like we're trying to do this, get our name out there, so eventually the higher ups can get seen by us. It's the same way it really goes for any sport. When you're playing sports in college, you're trying to get up there so like you can get drafted by the team of whatever sport you're playing. And so I feel like it falls into that same line when it comes to wrestling too, because like you have all these wrestling promotions, WWE, AEW, New Japan, like, and you have to want to kill it on the indie scene to like uh make them keep their eyes out for you. And if they actually do have their eye out for you, that increases your chances of actually getting in. So like that's why it's important. Like when you're always doing when it's the indie scene, you're just doing your best to constantly get a booking. So like any booking that you can get, especially all around the world, you're just going to be getting a little taste of what you could get when you eventually do get signed because you're going to be going all around the world regardless. So as for indie scene, you get those reps in right now, you'll be used to it.
All right. So I know that you will probably be honored to have that opportunity, man. I know, like with the kind of person that you are, bro. I know that you would take that opportunity, and you would succeed in doing so. Especially for somebody like and especially somebody like a Swerve. But now, do you have any mentors in the ring right now, like in terms of somebody who, other than obviously your coach in the AAPW, but what other wrestlers have befriended you and mentored you along the way that have helped you to become a better wrestler, and not only just that, but a better person? Like, who has mentored you along the way just to help you to become a better wrestler and a better person?
There's been a lot of guys from my school like giving me especially tips, like especially two people from my wrestling school that I really respected, who gave me tips on how to like keep my big guy status in wrestling and just like know how to be that big guy. Is two superstars. They go by the name of Luke Cameron and Mokele. They really helped me solidify my big status as far as like how can I look big in any possible way, shape, form possible. Just whatever I'm doing, just never stay crouched down. Always stay fully standing straight up. Always look intimidating as possible and just be big. Like I already have the size, so like I don't really have to add much work into it. That's the thing with like this wrestling thing is like your whole goal is just like be intimidating as you can, even if you're not that tall and the height is not always on your side. Always be as big as you can, because that's really going to show you how you can elevate yourself and know what it takes to really be in the big leagues.
What would let's see. What would you consider now to be your favorite? Let's see. Out of all the matches that you've had, I know you've had very many. But what match are you most proud of right now, man? In your 4 years of being a wrestler, what match are you most proud of?
I'd say it's a probably toss up between the triple threat match I had with Nakai and Apollo Gold and my first ever match, because I feel like that first ever match you're always gonna look back on, because like you can really see that you actually like made it through this and you didn't like fold under pressure. So I feel like that's always going to be the first test water. And like I said, the first impression, they always say the first impression is everything. So like when you get into that match, like this is your first time getting it in. So like you have to you can like take in the moment like personally, but like outside you have to also learn to stay focused and hone your craft, because like this is something that's really big and that means a lot to you. So you don't want to mess it up. So like I feel like monumental wise and like study wise, the first match was always going to like stick out to me. As far as the triple threat goes, I feel like that was a good one, because like it was my very first triple threat, and like I really the thing with triple threats is like you can really they really are gonna flow when you have like all the bodies fighting at once, and you don't just have like two people fighting while one's on the outside. Like when all the energy is connected, like everybody has their own hatred for each other, so they're all in fighting sequences. That's why you will see everybody hit like a Tower of Doom spot, because like it's really showing that all three people have like this hatred for each other, where they're just gonna be fighting time and time again, like every moment that they can get. So I feel like that's why that triple threat really means a lot to me, because like it really was like just a good match. It was a good match overall, and I actually really enjoyed it.
I love your perspective, man, on the psychology of that triple threat match, man. because a lot of wrestlers do not have. Well, I have not seen a lot of wrestlers just break that down just like that, and that's dope to have. Because I, I I'll say this, man. You have a bright future ahead of you, bro. Continue to grind. Continue to do well on the indies, man. I think that a lot of people will know your name very, very soon. Because the way that I saw one of your videos had like 200 views on it, and that was really, really cool to see that, and especially me seeing a young black brother doing extremely well in a field that a lot of people get into, and I'm glad to see you doing well, brother. But what what are your goals in terms of um what's next for Jackson? I know obviously you want to have a contract with a major company. Obviously, everybody wants to have a contract with a major company and wants to be a champion, all that stuff. But like 1 or 2 years down the line, what are your what's one of your biggest goals that you want to accomplish?
As far as one of the biggest goals, like outside of being signed to a major company, of course, like I feel like I just want to take as much of this in as I can as a learning experience. Cause like I feel like with how experienced you can be at this wrestling, no matter how many years you've been doing it for, there's no really such thing as you're really done learning. Like I feel like as you can go on, you're always gonna end up learning something new every time. And something like that is like something like that is like really means something to me because like I would rather hone in and learn as much as I can about this business inside and out of it, learning how to always improve my character, learn how to always improve my skills, hone my craft. So I feel like as far as the goals went, it just goes by it's just learning a lot to this. And like if I had to go with the second one, it just meant like really what I'm already doing right now is just trying to have as much fun with this as possible.
So I love, man, how you're taking the position of a student, and you're not just how I put this. You're not just saying, "Oh, I've already learned a lot. Only learn anything else." You're taking the position of a student, man. And I love how, as a wrestler, that you're doing that, and obviously you want to be at the top of the mountain. You want to be a part of a major company. Um, but we okay. Got a few more minutes, so what I'll do is, man, um, we're gonna have a little bit of fun. So here's some fun questions I have for you, Jax. So, what's your favorite match of all time? And then, who was on your Mount Rushmore professional wrestling? And you can break down any way you want, but I would say for your Mount Rushmore, pick a past, somebody from the front, somebody from the present, and pick two people that are maybe your mentors in AAPW or whatever that you really, really look up to.
As far as like my mentors, it would be from my school. It would be Lou Cameron and Mo Kelly. They are also students at ABW. My Mount Rushmore would consume of Stone Cold, The Rock, John Cena, and Shawn Michaels. I feel like those, especially I resonated a lot with like John Cena growing up. I remember me and my family would always every single time he made a video to Raw or SmackDown, we would all be in the living room watching his matches. Uh, as far as my favorite match goes, I would say Kurt Angle versus Rey Mysterio at SummerSlam 2002. I feel like that match was like the perfect compilation of two different styles of professional wrestling colliding and like in just like a short amount of time too, because like the match is only 8 minutes, but like in those 8 minutes, like you can clearly see like how many different styles of pro wrestling can coexist because you always can mix technical with a powerhouse or a high flyer or a high flyer with a giant. It's like that's the thing about wrestling is like everything is gonna click if you just have the mental and physical capacity to like make it work. Like it's always gonna no matter what size of the person, no matter what size of the people that are in the match, you can figure out a way to make magic in a match.
You mentioned, my bad, Jax. You mentioned, ooh, um, Kurt Angle and Ram. I think it was Kurt Angle and Ram Stereo.
Yeah.
What would so would that be a de facto dream match for you, like as a big guy to go get somebody that's a luchador and have a little fun with somebody like that, like a Javon Evans type or
Yeah.
somebody from AAA? Like would that be a cool fun moment for you?
Oh yeah, most definitely. Like always, like going against other young talents like Javon, or something, that would definitely be
A luchador and
a,
have a little
that would definitely be a dream come true for me because I
like
feel
a
like that
Javon
would just be
Evans type or
that would
somebody
be
from
something
AAA.
I would
Like
mostly look
would that would
forward
that would
to.
that be a cool fun moment
I
for
would
you?
see myself like,
Oh
especially because
yeah,
like
most
as
definitely. Like
us being two
always,
young
like
stars,
me going
it
against other
basically
young
helping
talents
both
like
of us
Like
rise up
Javon
to
or
the
something,
top.
that
So
would
like
definitely
that
be a
it's gonna
luchador.
better both of us, better my skills and better his. So I feel like if I was to ever get the opportunity to get that match, I know we would cook. And given that we're both young, we're probably gonna have some pretty crazy spots up in there, more than likely.
That's dope, man. So, um, some more fun questions for you, man. So, if okay, if you could have one legendary manager by your side, who would it be? Now, this can be. Now, we all know for the major companies, you got Don Callis and you got Paul Heyman. So, just to make this easier, who would you pick to be your manager? Paul Heyman or Don Callis? Or if you want to go to the past, we can go Jimmy Hart, or we could go Brother Love or somebody from the past. Like, who would you pick?
I feel like if I was going present, I would definitely probably go Paul Heyman because I feel like um, that's one thing I feel like that doesn't get really talked about enough. He knows exactly how to put people over. Like with his promos, he is just like so unique and like flow with it. Like when he talks about his clients or whatever, he knows exactly what to gravitas from the fans in order to make them attracted to who he is talking about. And I feel like that would be like a big step for me, especially because of how of the people he's been mentoring. You know, he's mentored CM Punk, Brock Lesnar, Roman Reigns. I feel he was like the perfect manager as to really to get you over because he's gonna know exactly what to do, exactly what to say, and like exactly know how to pull the fans into your career and make them get invested in you. So like I feel that's like the main reason I would choose him.
Okay, cool, man. So Paul Heyman. Okay. Um, he's of course a legendary figure in the world of pro wrestling. For those of you guys who may not know, yeah, Paul Heyman is that guy. But y'all know I'm a Don Callis guy, but Paul Heyman, Paul Heyman is obviously one of the greatest managers of all time. Um, his way of being able to sell anything. I mean, this man even tried to get Curtis Axel over at one point. So I mean, that tells you how committed he is to his job.
And if he's willing to work with you, he'll work with you.
Yeah, yeah, Yeah,
Hey,
yeah.
I can give props to Don Callis too, because like Paul, at least the thing with Paul Heyman is at least he's like managing one person. Don Callis managing like several of them. So
Mm-hmm.
to keep several guys over like that consistently week by week, that's pretty impressive task for real.
Yeah, yeah. Man, listen. Paul Heyman has been around the business. Like the man went from like finding his way to taking pictures in the arena, and then went from doing that to being one of the greatest managers of all time. From like WCW to ECW to WWF. I mean, the guy's been everywhere. He's done everything, and I think that Chu would be a really good Paul Heyman guy. I'm not even kidding. Like that would be a cool thing to see. Um, but before we get out here and say goodbye to everyone, Jax, tell them where to find you on all your social platforms and tell them about what's going to be happening next for you in terms of your matches and stuff like that. I have your channel down in the description as well, so you guys will check out his channel. Um, let's make sure we get him to some good subscriber numbers too, guys. That way we can push his stuff out into the algorithm and stuff, guys. Because we want to make sure his young brother succeeds, man. All right,
Yes.
take us away, Jax.
You can find me at all social media platforms: TikTok, Instagram, Twitter at Jungle Monster. You search up my name's just gonna pop up right then and there. As in like you said, my link is in the bio. So all my social medias are in the bio of my YouTube channel. So you can also find it there. As far as like my next match, don't worry. You tap into the YouTube channel, you will get updated on that pretty soon.
Well, guys, you have watched another great episode of the Indie Spotlight. I want to thank you all of you guys for watching today. I want to thank Jax for coming on the show. And listen, man, y'all continue to watch this brother's journey. He's gonna be going places. He's going to great places. But let's continue to support Pop Mania and all that they're doing. Continue to plug into the Power Surge each and every week. I also have another indie spotlight coming on this Wednesday. Nick the Cardinal Thompson will be returning to the indie spotlight to promote his match as well. So we are going to be have a pretty jam packed week. We're actually going into um for this for Future Shock. So I'm more than happy to present to you guys the Indie Spotlight. And this is your friendly neighborhood wrestling content creator, Benjamin J. Dixon, signing off and saying, peace. All right.
Future Shock with your host, Benjamin Dixon. And guess what? You are now plugged into the Power Surge. I'm black with the cheese, more attraction screen. Watch the arrogance spray, that's the money I bring. Living legend on the charts, that's a FTR. Nigga swerve through the scene, that's just Nana's car. Strutting with the ruin, know the night is young. Clear vision for the sight, know the title won. Let the band play a cut for the dragon, I'm on to it. Combat club for the honor, we grind through it. If you with the smoke, then light a match, just get lit. Guy just look in the box, but ain't got mix. War dog ready, I got a fix for comp. If you answer the call for the boots, you get stomped. Perfect with the talk, it's timeless. I'm known for malice. It ain't argue rules like a king does. I'ma shed skin and show you legs like snakes. No RKO is coming after the break. You can fall from grace and get buried. Empty every cannon when loose and peel like Mike Bailey. Dark with the stun, I take a bump for real. Every public on tweet when Hardy screams, yeah. I'ma need y'all to stop what y'all doing and follow on all social media outlets. You know the vibes, might make the world turn circles. And pay me like I wear one and all like Yoku. Let Oos know that my bloodline thick. NFTs we connect, every brace will stick. Need a Naya on the line, we can dial like press. The man picking up a baddie like Jay, we set. Who's next with the tackle? It's a collar and elbow. Let the beat slap, give me chance like the Big Show. Involved with sickos, I got an ID. From the trenches we evolve, with the straps we free. Hit a match, strike 3, I got a pen like ink. Write stories, never boring, that's the NXT. You are now tuned in to the Future Shock. Future Shock, Future Shock. Hot takes we debate, it's the Future Shock. Future Shock, Future Shock. IWC, it's the Future Shock. Future Shock, Future Shock. Get your news here first, it's the Future Shock. Future Shock, Future Shock.